I'm Amazing Spider-Man. This is...
WTF, Mr. Whiskers?
And this is Brutal Legends.
Yeah, that was so quick. Yeah,
We
get out
appreciate
the way.
Coming to episode 2 of Brutal Legends.
Toltec?
Yeah, so we went to Toltec, tried out some beers, settled on this one to bring home in a cool growler.
Yep.
And that's what we went with because we liked the color and the flavor. It's a nice, like a not quite amber, but yellow, almost a Pilsner, but it doesn't have that white. It looks, it's got yellow.
Yeah.
But very floral.
And surprisingly crisp. Oh, the lager itself is surprisingly a lot better than I thought it was going to be, just because it's a lager. It's the of course the lower end of the alcohol content, which surprisingly I didn't expect most of their alcohol or brews over there being that high at alcohol, which
a lot of
is
them are
always
in the 5.
which isn't a bad thing at all. It just surprised me because I've never been there. It was very nice. The staff there were fairly friendly with us, so informative as to what was being provided to us, which is always a good thing. Usually if you go to a normal bar, you're pretty much shooting in the dark from there and hoping to get something, which, I mean, if you're going to a local bar like that, I'd hope you would know what you're into before just getting it. So
well, and I think that might be why more and more people are doing the craft brewery too, is just the experience is a little bit better.
Yeah.
They'll give you a second, they can talk to you about the beer, they know what they're doing because they drink it or they make it, at least. I don't know necessarily if, of course, they're going to drink their own beer.
Yeah, I mean,
but yeah, I think the microbrew, craft brew kind of thing is making it a little more accessible to everybody to get beer,
which is always a good thing because you get that extra variety. So it's not like you're just stuck on one single thing. But this one definitely has my vote over there.
And honestly, I think this one's actually opening up a little bit better, warmer than it was cold. I've never had a beer that does that, but that one actually tastes a little bit better as it's getting warmer. Thank you for joining us again. We've taken a trip over to Toltec. Here in the kind of Rio Rancho, but technically Albuquerque.
Yeah. What is it? Is it like a little past the Cottonwood Mall, it hits Rio Rancho, or?
Yeah, it's when you're going up Golf Course, when you're going up that road, there's a Welcome to Rio Rancho sign.
Oh, okay.
It's officially Rio Rancho. But you'll find most people in Rio Rancho will include all of Cottonwood.
Yeah.
In the Rio Rancho city limits, if you don't.
When was it? 3 days ago? On Thursday, right? Thursday
Wednesday.
night. Oh, Wednesday.
Because Wednesday was Valentine's.
Oh, no, Thursday was Valentine's, right?
Thursday was Valentine's, so we went the day before.
Okay, so
because it came out on Valentine's. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I think I know why after seeing that movie too. So Wednesday, I got to see the both me and Matt over here had the opportunity to check out Battle Angel Alita for that.
Alita Battle Angel.
Alita Battle Angel. Thank you. Which altogether, for a movie based on a manga or anime, turned out a lot better than expected. It was nothing like Ghost in the Shell, where it was just a complete flop, where there were just things going on in there that were either too much, it didn't explain anything, or there were just awkward scenes in there that made absolutely no sense. So this movie was pretty solid altogether. Of course, it had its flaws because both me and Matt read the manga, and it seemed as though they've got the first book and the second book and put those together, which was the main focus, which is good. But I mean, if you've read the series, or at least the first 2 books, and you're all into how things are supposed to be following the storyline, it might be a little upsetting, but other than that, it was real good for how it came out. And we've been waiting for this movie for quite some time. What, like a year or
a year for me, but I think you were way into Alita Battle Angel before you showed it to me.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, yeah, it's been about a year that we've known about the movie anyway, because they did the trailers pretty early.
Yeah, but they were always like teasing it, like, "Hey, this is potentially a thing."
It got pushed back a couple times.
Yeah.
Too.
So it finally came out this year. But what'd you think of it?
I dug it. It was weird that they had the sports ball game going on, because I don't know why. I don't know why they had the sports ball game. Like it's not in the manga, so it's just kind of added to give her something that gave her goals and kind of tested her against the other cyborg people that in the mangas, I guess she just fought. Like they were just fighting to fight.
Bounty hunters.
Yeah. So. But in here they still had the bounty hunter thing, but decided to add in all this stuff with the battle arena and what was it? Motorball.
Motorball.
Yeah, motorball. So it was interesting.
Had absolutely no instructions as to what's going on other than running around with the ball and there potentially being a finish line.
Yeah, well, yeah, they had the ball that you put in the hoop, but once they show you what the rules are kind of in the beginning when the kids are playing it, the cyborgs just drop all pretense and just murder the shit out of each other. There's no sport to the sports ball. It becomes just a reason to attack each other. And like they hold the ball but then use it as a weapon. So for me the movie was good, not great, but it was fun. Like it was still fun to see the movie. I wasn't nearly as angry as I've been with other manga adaptations,
because it was 122 minutes long and it kind of didn't feel like that. It felt like
it was pretty quick.
Pretty good. Solid on the story, but it's its own personal story. So there are some things in there that are it's still getting to me, is the love interest in there. I don't know why that was in there.
James Cameron wrote it.
Okay.
Yeah, he can. I mean, I love James Cameron, but he put a love story in a killer robot movie 30 years ago. He's gonna do it now.
And dude, just the book alone is very graphic, gory wise, and just violence altogether. Unfortunately, the movie is PG-13, so there is violence in there, but it's definitely not as graphic as, of course, the book is, which was kind of a letdown. There was some gore in there, but it was very contained. The thing is, this movie kind of made it seem like people are abducting people just to steal their robotic parts, whereas the book, they were harvesting live organs, and these cyborgs were taking it, which was insane. That was crazy.
And the spine thing too, it was like, it wasn't punk kids taking robot people's arms, it was punk kids splitting people open and stealing their spinal column to sell to the highest bidder. So it was murder in the book, but here they made it like a side job, like other people did this, which was kind of weird.
And then back to what I was saying before, the whole love interest where they made Hugo, the encouraging type, or that romantic type, which was kind of off-putting because in the manga he doesn't give a damn. He could really care less. He just wants to go to the city in the sky, and that's his main focus, is getting $1 million or whatever kind of Bitcoin thing that they have going on for this one dude who ends up telling him that the only way that you're actually going to go is pretty much me cutting you up and you being harvested up there. So that's the only way. And he ends up actually killing him for saying that. Hugo kills him. So Hugo and Alita, they show up to his place all pissed because he got his 1 million Bitcoins that belonged to Hugo. and then Hugo ends up killing him. And then there's that scene at the end where he's going up the
he gets the robot
rail.
body,
Yeah.
or does he do it as a regular full human?
No, when he's got the robot body,
Okay.
because he's got that big old trench coat and the hat,
Nice.
and he has no idea who he is, the evil guy. So he's just like, and who's this guy? And he's like, oh, it's me. And he's like, oh, Hugo, I've been waiting for you this whole time, trying to play it off. But other than that, I mean, out of movies that are coming out about anime or manga altogether, it definitely was its own story, but combined with the manga, it was pretty good for what came out. So.
It's leader of the pack. I mean, it's leaps and bounds above Death Note or Ghost in the Shell. Just streets ahead.
Yeah. Gosh. Yeah,
But,
man. And you still haven't seen? Have you seen Ghost in the Shell?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're gonna be in.
I love ScarJo. I love her, but I could not do Ghost in the Shell. I just saw all of the backlash that it was getting, and I just didn't want really any part in it.
No.
But
which is that's also another difficult thing too, is not being able to see something just because of reviews now. So it's also another thing that's off-putting. But because what did we see that got a bad hit? Was it? I feel like it was maybe Sorry to Bother You, unless that one came out pretty solid.
No, I think Sorry to Bother You we saw before there were any reviews or anything, because we saw that as just kind of like a anti-call center movie, which is how
we didn't even
marketing
know.
it.
Yeah, we didn't even know what was going on.
Yeah, we were not ready for the Equisapiens. But yeah, I mean, we try really hard to take reviews with a grain of salt, think about where they're coming from. For me, one of the harder things that I find, especially in other reviews, and I'm saying this as someone who's trying to review, is a lot of people review things on what isn't there, what should have been, instead of what is. So like you always see like game reviews where they're like, this game didn't have multiplayer, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. Well, that's what it didn't have. How can you review something you didn't play? I've never understood that. So as a promise, right here, right now, to the Brutal Legends viewer, that's pretty much how anything I review is going to be, is what's there, not what wasn't there. But when things
and we're actually going to play the game too.
Yes, we will play the game. Both ways to play it, IGN, Resident Evil 2. Speaking of which, I've had a little bit of a chance to play Crackdown 3 this week.
Okay.
So far, I'm enjoying it. It's very samey to Crackdown 1 and Crackdown 2 in that there's a villain and you have to do certain missions that make that villain weaker and make that villain available to attack, and then you go kill that villain.
Okay.
This one is built more crime structure-y, so that they've got lots of little low-level guys, and then it all goes to one high-level person, which I seem to remember was the way that the first one was. But I'm going to play some more and actually beat the game before giving like a full review on it. But so far it's fun. I mean, I get to blow stuff up, and I get to play as Terry Crews, who I love. So I'll have more of that.
Nice.
Coming in next week. I don't want to take up too much time talking about what I don't have.
Yeah, buddy.
But,
I shouldn't even be talking. I still haven't even completed Kingdom Hearts yet.
Yeah.
It's tough, man.
Yeah.
It's like it's finally over, and
being adult is difficult. You gotta do adult stuff and then play video games.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It's hard to find time. But we've got Kingdom Hearts coming. We've got Crackdown 3 coming. We have Anthem coming.
Yeah.
Anthem. With both of us playing that multiplayer together. We've got that one coming soon. That comes out Friday.
Yep.
So we'll give that a try, kind of give first impressions, and then do what we can to get through the story. I will put in here, I do apologize for any background noise. We do have a living, breathing dog.
Visitor.
That chewing on a bone or doing her thing. So there may be, I'm going to try and edit my best, but there may be some noise there. So I do apologize for anyone out there.
Well, give her some love.
Triggered by bone noises.
You just
actual bone noises. No.
They might be into it because of those whole little whisper things going on.
ASMR.
Yeah,
there could be some ASMR action for the dog bone.
We could list it as that. Just in case
there's like someone's like
ASMR. Dog bone ASMR. There you go.
Maybe we'll throw that in. But
you're all like, you know what? This is what's happening.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let everybody know just in case someone.
They have
headphones right
what is that? Netflix for dogs or whatever. They have that. So
yeah.
Fuck it. We'll throw some dog bone ASMR on there. I don't give a shit. I think that's it right now. We're gonna get out there and do some more reviews. Trying to bring in some of the nerdy stuff, some of the beer stuff. We're gonna do what we can. We're very much both engulfed in nerd culture. So that's what we're here to do, is drink beer and talk about nerd stuff.
Yeah. Or at least to try our best to do so.
Right. So, and by the way, the 3 out of 5 for
the lager.
No. Oh, well, yeah, we'll do the lager here.
Okay.
No, 3 out of 5 for Alita for me.
Oh,
3 out of 5. Nice. It was right middle of the road.
Yeah. I feel the same
for me. But,
because, like I said, it definitely was a 2-hour movie, but it definitely didn't feel like that. So I think that's a positive thing for a movie altogether. Is it just staying like that? Unfortunately, there were some downfalls just because of my own expectation. But
a lot of it too, I think, because the movie took 10 years to make. So I think you start getting more hands in the pot the longer the movie takes to make. So Robert Rodriguez didn't write it; he just directed it. James Cameron did direct it; he just wrote it. So I don't think anyone really had 100% skin in the game.
Yeah. But for something that I feel did not have a lot of traffic on it. Yeah. I have yet to personally speak to someone who's read manga or watches anime religiously. Tell me, hey, have you read Battle Angel? Yeah. Like, no one has ever mentioned that at all. Yeah. And it is a good book. It's not bad. It's a great story altogether. But,
super 80s, early 90s. But it's one of the. It feels like one of the first manga out there. Like it and Akira are like right neck and neck for early great manga.
Yeah, but even though like with that, I feel like there's not enough traffic, and maybe with this coming out, that will bring more attention to the books. Which they're more than likely not going to reboot or anything like that. It's been way too long for them to make a whole new series. So,
but so we've got our Brutal Legends episode 2, brews, reviews, and answering cues. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to give those to us. Yes. We'll answer them on the air. We'll answer them in a video for you.
And we definitely would love to do this continually or more often for you guys. So please like and subscribe to this video as much as you can. Thank you.
Thank you. So welcome back to another episode of Brutal Legends. I am Amazing Spider, and this is